Hi, I'm Phil Ashey from the American Anglican Council with a special report on the disciplinary proceedings against 9 Episcopal bishops. I was on vacation, as many of you I'm sure are, getting ready for Independence Day. And I heard this news about the disciplinary actions against 9 Episcopal bishops who've chosen to stand on the rock of their own convictions, biblical convictions, and to witness within the Episcopal Church. Why all of a sudden, on the eve of General Convention, is the Episcopal leadership bringing disciplinary action against them? Well, very simply, one thing. These bishops dared to differ with the presiding bishop, Mrs. Shorey, and her House of Bishops on the issue of the nature of the polity of the Episcopal Church. Is it hierarchical or not? And these 9 bishops submitted friend of the court briefs. They exercised their First Amendment rights as U.S. citizens to say, no, we've looked carefully at the history and the documents and the canon law and constitution of the Episcopal Church, and we take a different view. Just to kind of put it in perspective, these 9 bishops are a distinct numerical minority within the Episcopal Church. They have no possibility of changing General Convention. Or even of modifying any actions that the vast majority are taking on things like same-sex blessings. And yet for this action of exercising their free speech and disagreeing with the presiding bishop, they've been brought up on disciplinary charges. And the very fact that they were notified of this indicates how serious an action it is. And that's why I'm here to report to you. Now, we've documented at great length how the Episcopal Church and its leadership over the last 50 years has increasingly abandoned any kind of biblical faith, belief in the deity of Jesus Christ, Christian essentials, the faith that the apostles preached in the Bible. And we've also documented how they've taken increasingly unchristian actions like supporting abortion. But you know, this is just another nail in the coffin of bad governance, of increasingly bad behavior. In our brief to the Church of England, where we talked about unjust Episcopal acts, we documented at great length how the leadership of the Episcopal Church under Mrs. Shorey has violated canons one after another in disciplining over 100 clergy. And we know that's a low amount, including bishops and priests and deacons, most of whom are now in the Anglican Church in North America. But this is just a new low, frankly. There's no grounds that I can find in the new Title IV disciplinary canons for any of these actions to be taken against these 9 bishops. And you can look at other analysts who've written the same thing. What it appears is that the leadership of the Episcopal Church in regards to governance is becoming more totalitarian and less Anglican every day. And that's a problem, because it no longer bears the mark of even a Christian church. Jesus talked about how we build a foundation for the church at the end of the Sermon on the Mount. And he said it's like 2 houses that were built, one on the rock, and the rain came down, the streams rose, the winds blew and beat against that house, yet it did not fall because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine, said Jesus, and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash. You know, just think about what the presiding bishop and her House of Bishops, her intake officer, are doing. Does that sound like they're putting the words of Jesus into effect? They're building a house on the sand, and it's going to crash. Please pray with me. Join me as we pray for and stand with these 9 Orthodox bishops in the Episcopal Church. May God bless them for their courage and their faithfulness and their willingness to put Jesus' words into action.